Welcome to Where the Fakarwi, and I've got a special guest for you tonight. This is very exciting. This is very exciting. You might be able to hear her laughing, but you can't see her just yet. Here she is. It's Rachel Harris. Woo! Yeah!
Hey!
Yay! We've missed you. We've missed you.
It's good to be back. It's like,
It's
hello,
very good to have you
socialites.
back.
Hey, yeah. Well, I've been, I had some time off the wall and let somebody else take a shift up there. Everybody in the battle of rights, you have to take some time off, and I was a bit burnt, so I went to the bunker and drank and watched sci-fi and hung around with friends. Talked, my time in Paris off the front, right?
Yeah,
And now
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and you need dancing girls, can-cans, you need absinthe to drink.
I did all that.
It's really good to see. It's really good to see. But yeah, I've been saying this to people watching the channel as well. Like, if you have to take some time out from all this shit, take time out. There's no one should feel responsible about taking all this in, because it's a lot. So we're not going to talk about politics tonight. No. We're thinking about having a Wednesday night show called Wednesday Night Musings with Graham and Rachel.
Musings. Yeah. Well, just whatever's bothering us. It might be a bit of politics. It might be Tesla. It might be Elon. It might be a film. It might be something we've watched, something sci-fi. Whatever people in the chat want to talk about, we can discuss. But it's just like, it doesn't have to have a format. Just you and I had a conversation this afternoon. We just talked for an hour of bollocks.
We did talk for an hour of bollocks. We touched on Star Trek a lot.
We did.
I was talking.
Have you watched Star Trek, Graham?
No, you tried to explain to me who Neelix was, and I'm like, I don't know who Neelix is. Come on.
Oh yeah,
I have seen this
stuff. In Voyager.
With Captain Sisko on the bridge of the Enterprise F. I'm joking. That was a joke.
Yeah. Jay,
Commander Sheridan.
I love you, son.
Commander Sheridan.
No, I mean, Deep Space Nine, you're thinking, man, Star Trek, deep stories.
Deep Space Nine, the first season, I think, came out, and then Babylon 5 came out around the same time, and it forced Deep Space Nine to up its game. I always like to think that Babylon 5 was kind of like the Paul McCartney to Deep Space Nine's John Lennon. Do you know what I mean?
Contentious. Yeah, I have to say the first season of Deep Space Nine is a bit, and then when the war starts,
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. But it's difficult, isn't it? You've got a show where it's each week you go to a new place and you go to a new planet, new people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you make a show where it doesn't go anywhere because it's a space station.
No, best character in it though is Gowron.
But yeah, I liked TV now. But I mean, my real affection is for The Next Generation. Because I watched every episode of that when it was first on BBC Two. I think it was like, what was it? 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, I think it was.
Yeah,
it's just great.
I liked it. I mean, there are some episodes when you watch it now, you think, I'll skip over that one. But I love it. Actually, it's really weird where the technology looks a bit old.
Yes. Old-fashioned future tech.
Yeah, but it's dated a bit. But I think it's, I don't know. Some of the storylines are quite deep. I mean, what I always think is funny is every time you put Riker in charge of the Enterprise, he totals it. It's always like, why he was probably a first officer that, in generations crashes it into a planet, When he in Insurrection, he has to eject the warp core. He always hands it back in a really bad condition.
Can never trust you.
I'm sick of running from these bastards.
But I remember being really shocked that Tasha Yar got killed at the end of season 1. Sorry, spoilers. On The Next Generation, and I remember having the discussion with my mates, like, "Oh, she'll be back for sitting. They'll bring her back. There'll be a way of bringing her back."
But they did.
Well, they did as her secret granddaughter or something mad.
No. But she was in the alternative universe and went off on the Enterprise.
Oh, and then that was that bit where someone had to say to her, "You shouldn't be here."
Yeah, Garner.
Oh, that was heartbreaking.
This isn't right.
What are you dead? You're dead.
It's just not right. We shouldn't be at war.
That allowed Worf to step up to head of security, and he just wanted to fight everyone. It was brilliant. Like, every time he was ready. Let's have a discussion about what we do next. Tactics. He's like, I say we should mince them into dust.
Fire weapons.
Fire all weapons.
Yes, exactly.
And he's like, shut up, Mr. Worf.
That was like in all the films though, right? Because they always had
Yeah.
to find an excuse to put Worf back on the Enterprise. So in the First Contact, he's in the Defiant. Today is a good day to die. And then it's the Enterprise. It's coming in. We don't have to die at all, Captain. What? No, let's die. No, the Enterprise is coming in to save us.
Well, when we were talking this afternoon, I was talking about Picard season 1 and 2, which are just so bad. I wish someone had warned me and said, Graham, don't even bother. Just go straight to season 3, which is very good. Because the other two are like a masterclass in how not to do stuff with great IP.
Yeah. As I said to you, I don't want to spoil the people haven't seen it, but the first bit, the sort of the kind of artificial body that guy's willing to, he spent all his life building, and he's just willing. Oh, you want it? Do you pick? Oh, have it. Yeah, it's fine. It's great. It just felt. Hang on
None of it made any sense. It
That
felt
didn't make
like
any sense.
what's that game? Is it called telephone or something? Telegraph, where you write a word and then you fold the paper over and you give it to someone else and they write a word and then you turn it over and then another person writes a word and then you open it all up and it's supposed to make a sentence. It's just gibberish. That's a telephone, I think it's called. That's what it was like. It was like a game of telephone. Like I guess one writer to the next of one episode didn't know what happened in the previous episode. It was like, so where are we?
And I just
awful.
And I just thought the whole, it was a bit forced. The Romulans being the bad guys and Picard trying to help them and all the other stuff. I just thought, well, I mean, in all the seasons, he took his pips off once and said, and he stepped down in which one was it? Not Insurrection. Yeah, it's Insurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes his pips off and then and he gets ready, lock and low, and already
I hated that.
And I thought, but he's very wise, right? And I don't know, I don't know how he ended up in that position where he'd fallen out with Starfleet and blah 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 blah. But anyway, I don't want to read it too much, but it was first
season 3 is great. Just ignore 1 and 2. Number 2, they go back in time to now, and then they're just walking around LA, and then they steal a car for no reason, and no one stops them, and they get out the car and walk off. And I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, could this get any worse? And then they have like a shooting battle, not with pew pew laser guns, but actual real guns in Jean-Luc Picard's chateau.
Yeah. And the really cool cigar smoking guy whose shit they use stays behind because he falls in love, knowing full well Trump's going to be president twice in his future.
Exactly. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. And there's World War III to come,
And the woman who wore the dress, she was just so annoying. And then it's like, we've got to make a distraction. She just like sung a dance routine. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? It was like, the bit in Spaceballs where the alien comes out of John Hurt's chest and then starts doing a dance routine. It was like that. I was like, what is this doing in this? That actually happened in an alien movie. Like, it's like, what the hell is this doing in a movie? It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Awful. So, absolutely. Just bad beyond belief. And I've stayed away from Strange New Worlds and
I like all
Discovery and stuff like that because it's just
Strange New Worlds is good. Discovery's a bit hit and miss. It's all right. Bit forced. I love Strange New Worlds because Captain Pike is cool. Great hair. Oh yeah.
But is it fun? I mean, is it like it's got the spirit of adventure
and Khan's I think it's his granddaughter is on the bridge.
Because remember, work experience on the bridge.
Well, no,
is that what you're about to say?
Head of security, and there's a time travel episode where she goes back and meets Khan as a child, and she has the choice to, and doesn't, knowing full well what he's going to do in the genetics war and what he's going to do to Kirk in the future and all that. She could have, but she didn't.
Yeah. Oh well.
And weirdly, when she goes back to do that, she's with Captain Kirk. As a young lieutenant. Oh, bend your mind.
Yeah. But then he turned up in Star Trek too, didn't he? Into Darkness. That was so shit. Shit.
I love that. No, my favorite.
Crap.
No,
Ricardo any day.
Don't say that, Graham. You're my friend. Don't tell me you don't like the
Ricardo was way better as Khan.
Who was?
Ricardo, the original Khan.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, I was just thinking you were saying the Wrath
God.
of Khan was a bad film there.
No, the new update when
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
Benedict
yeah, yeah.
Cumberbatch, and
Oh
you're
yeah,
like,
no. He's like, ooh, have a glass of wine. I'm
yeah,
Khan. I'm a bit English.
I'll chat.
Hello. I went to private school, you know.
Yeah, the original Khan was like pure masculine
Oh
energy
yeah,
of just rage. He was like this genetically engineered
yeah.
superhuman who like, couldn't
Oh
play
no, hey
couldn't play
Kirk,
4D
do you
chess.
not know that the revenge is a disc well cold in space? It is very cold. I will avenge you. I love all that. It's camp and it's like
brilliant.
It's like Adam and the ants on the bridge of the Reliant. I mean, you look at yes, it's like Adam and
It's
the
the
ants.
most 80s thing ever. Everyone has a mullet of It's beautiful, beautiful.
I will avenge you.
Yeah, some of the decisions that these people who make this stuff make are just like, do you not like the material? Do you not like your job? I mean, why would you do this? Like, I couldn't see a Star Trek fan going, yeah, do you know what we should have? We should have a shit car chase through LA for no reason.
Oh yeah. Right, is that LA Story? Which one's the one that has all the hundreds of cars that get piled? LA Story, LA Confidential. One of those films has just got
the Blues
Live
Brothers.
and Die in LA. There's 100 million cars get smashed up in a car
Blues
chase.
Brothers.
I know that in the Blues Brothers. I thought there was
Gone in 60 seconds.
Oh, that's
Fast and Furious. Faster and Furiouser. Faster and Furiosa.
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
Oh.
Faster and Furiosa. Tokyo Drift. There you go. There's a crossover for you.
Yeah. No, if you got Ricardo Montalban, you can go to Fantasy Island now.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
And then you can go on to Bond and go, if you kill him, oh, this will be mine. Go come 007. Oh, they're into Bond.
I was going to mention 007. So it's gone over to Amazon, hasn't it?
All the spin-offs. The Q Branch series, 22 seasons, and then blah blah. There'll be all that, won't there, on Amazon that they did to Marvel? They'll.
I want them to do a good job, but I want them to do a good job of Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, and they really didn't. They
we bought both of those series.
I mean, it looks lush. It looks absolutely fucking amazing. But
why are all the Middle Earthers Irish? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
I'll find that.
Why has it got Numenor? There's nothing happening in Numenor for another few hundred years. Just leave it. Just leave that story at all till season 4. Yeah. And then they make the main characters some fucking elves. Elves are boring. Why would you want to make your main That's like having a TV show set on Vulcan. Just wouldn't work.
It's like having.
That's very logical of you. Yes, it is.
It's like, back to Picard.
Roll credits.
First series, basing it on the Romulans, right?
Yeah. I don't care.
They're kind of.
It's just elves are boring. I mean, they're beautiful and interesting, I guess, in a kind of standoffish way. But
they are.
I mean, you can't get behind them. You can't. They're just. They are the Vulcans of the Lord of the Rings universe.
I find the elven men strangely attractive.
Yes, because they're all quite effeminate.
They're just beautiful. Nice to look at.
Nice skin.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I think they're beautiful. I think they're really nice to look at, and they fight well, and so.
Alan Jackson says, for a non-fan, Rings of Power would be a good story. For a fan, yeah, I get that. But I mean, I don't know. Even if I wasn't that into Lord of the Rings and I didn't care about the lore and the fact that Gandalf wasn't on the planet in the second season, the second age. Even if I ignored all that, I just didn't. It was just too. You can't have 2 seasons of a story and have these 2 different things going on at once and have them hardly any connection with each other. That was my problem with it. Like, at least Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, it's everything's connected in the story. But there was some political intrigue going on in Numenor that had literally absolutely nothing to do with what was happening on Middle Earth. What's the point?
I mean, I think my viewing of Lord of the Rings is a bit simpler. My wife is brilliant at it, loves it.
Yeah.
And she's read the Silmarillion and the Hobbit and she read it all. And she'll say, all I know is that this television series is meant to finish on the battle where Sauron loses his finger in the ring, I think.
Yes.
And there was a first age where men sided with Sauron and his boss in
Morgoth.
the first. Yeah, okay.
Or Melkor.
So I often pause it. It takes us about 10 hours to get through Lord of the Rings. Because go, who's that guy? Wasn't he in the? Is he connected to the? What my poor wife said. Look, this was the age of blur. They fought alongside them. He died in that one, but the ring went that way and they went that way. There were these rings for the blah, blah. So she has to put. I feel sorry for her because she's constantly explaining to somebody that I love Lord of the Rings, but I'm not. I'm not enveloped.
Do you know what? I appreciate all the decisions that they made for the films.
Yeah.
I know they had to change things to make it fit in a film. I know feeling a little bit aggrieved that Sauron, at the end of Two Towers didn't die, but then they made, the extended edition when he did. And I know Christopher Lee was pissed off about the fact that Sauron didn't get his proper ending in the Scarring of the Shire, which is the last bit of the last book, book 2 of Return of the King, where he goes to the Shire and fucks everything up for the people in the Shire. And and I can see why it's in the book, because that's the sort of thing that he would do. And if you want to read into anything, I mean, it's quite interesting that the British Empire, when it left its...
Did he fall off the tower or something?
In the movie, in the original cinematic cut, they just leave him in the tower, and Treebeard goes, "I will keep an eye on him." And in the extended edition, he actually gets pushed off the tower by Grima.
Yeah, that's the one I just watched. Yeah,
right. So in the book, Grima does kill him, but after they destroy the Shire and take over, and they enslave the hobbits. And our heroes come back after this fucking war against a god, and they get back to Hobbiton, so back to the Shire, and they find it just fucking in ruins.
That would have been
and then they have to fight again. And I understand, if you're making a film, one of the things that people complained about Lord of the Rings was like there's too many endings. I think Jack Nicholson said that about it famously. He said there were too many endings because it fades out, and you think, oh, is that it? And then it comes back again. And it fades out. And then you see the ships going off to the Grey Havens. Off to the west from the Grey Havens. And then it's like, oh, is that it? And then it's like Sam, and he goes and knocks on the door.
It does feel like, I mean, as an amateur Lord of the Ringsy, when he kneels down, he sort of, everybody kneels down before the new king.
Yeah.
And then the hobbits kneel down. He goes, no, nobody kneels before, and he kneels down before the hobbits. That would have been a great place to stop the film right there. I thought I was in tears at that moment. It was quite emotional, and I went, oh look, they're all bowing down because the hobbits are so brave. And it's like, well, that's a great way, because the next 30 minutes, like all just everybody saying goodbye, bye then, bye.
That was fun. Bye.
There's 30 minutes of goodbyes.
Yes, I know. But that's what happens in the book, and they were trying to stick to the book. Now, can you imagine, like, there was an extra hour?
Yeah.
When they go back, and there's a whole subplot, and you got to learn the names of new hobbits that you haven't even regarded before, and it's like, oh well, hope the what's the hobbit family that everyone hates? There's the Tux, there's the Meriadocs, there's Saxville Bagginses. That's it.
Oh right, okay.
Oh, those bloody Saxville Bagginses! Look what they've done.
Well, they're the ones that want Frodo's house, or when he leaves.
One Angry Pagans saying politics in Numenor was largely separate from the events in Middle Earth for hundreds of years. Yeah, that's what I said. That's why it makes no sense to me bringing Numenor into the story that early. You don't need to. Bring it in season 3. Okay, he's made the Rings of Power, and now he goes off to Mordor, and then in season 3, concentrate on that, and then you have a stranger arriving in Mordor, in Numenor, and he starts wriggling his way up the ranks of society in Numenor, and you're like, who's this interesting new character that we haven't seen before, who's worming his way up the ranks of Numenor and dripping poison into their ears and saying, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea if you go to the Forbidden Lands to the west? And the humans are like, oh, what was that? The Forbidden Lands.
And we don't like trans people.
because the trans agenda won't let you go there. So if you went there, that would stick one to the libs. And they're like, ooh, I'd like to stick one to the libs.
Yeah,
I'll build a load of ships and head off to the Forbidden Lands.
You see, that's what I always say. Gandalf was very cruel to me. He went, you shall not pass when I transitioned. Oh, thanks a lot, mate.
Bastard. I would do that if I ever become a lollipop man. Going across, I'll put the lollipop stick down in the middle of the road. You shall not pass!
That was acting.
The
That
kids
was
will love that, I'm
Ian
sure.
McKellen.
You probably won't get the reference. I don't know. So yeah, Galadriel and Numenor didn't make sense to me. Says one, it didn't make sense to anyone, mate. It just made no sense. It's like the people who wrote the TV show hadn't read the books.
Yeah.
And had no idea of the lore, no idea of the, and also the pacing is all over the shop, and I don't know.
You get around things. You can always say, like, back to Star Trek. You want to change it a bit, so you have the Calvin universe, which isn't canon. Star Trek, you see.
I've got to say, right, Lord of the Rings though, it did have some moments of genius, some moments. The Rings of Power. It did have some moments that I was like, yeah, that's good, and I really loved the relationship between Durin and the dwarf and Elrond the elf. I really liked that. It was really well written, really interesting. I liked Celebrimbor going a bit mad towards the end, but I just thought that wasn't the Celebrimbor that I knew from the books, so it wasn't not my Celebrimbor. But in the books, he spends hundreds of years trying to make these rings, to help the elves.
Yeah,
and then Sauron turns up in the form of what's it? Iluvatar? I've forgotten his name. It's a name that he gives himself. It means that
he's a bit like Elon Musk in the White House takes over, right?
Basically, and he puts some of his dark magic in there, and that allows him to make the rings. And he's like, "Oh wow, these actually work now." But it's because, like the Horcruxes in Harry Potter, he's put some evil stuff in the rings. Now Celebrimbor susses this out, chucks Sauron out, and he creates the 3 elven rings in secret, independent of Sauron. So they're not corrupted. That's why they can wear them, but they are connected. So it's that thing of like, he would love to have those rings.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, that because I did remember saying to Emma, why aren't the elves all bad? When and I obviously had
because they were made separately. But that happened after he realized Sauron was bad and the original rings were corrupted. Yeah. In this, that he made the 3 elven rings first.
Yeah, that's true.
What? Yeah. Hey, why? No. It just seemed like a really strange writing decision to do that. The realization that he's been, if it had been me, making it, he would have come to the realization he would have escaped from Sauron by the skin of his teeth, and then he would have put his soul into those rings and died like making the rings essentially. He's got no energy left because he saw what Sauron did to make the evil rings, and he made 3 good rings. But no, that's not the way they did it.
Cancelled now anyway, isn't it? So they're not making another series to link you up to the war and the link.
Are they not?
I don't think they're making a 3rd season.
I'm sure they are. Didn't they put like $500 million aside to make this? Stuff.
Okay. Well, let's hope.
We'll ask the people in the chat. Oh, I've not. I feel like I've left the people in the chat out a little bit.
Yeah, you've been banging on about your Lord of the Rings.
Hello, people in the chat. If you'd like to join the chat, just hit the subscribe button. We're supposed to be playing Where the Fakarwi, but we're actually just having a natter about Star Trek and Lord of the Rings because we're massive nerds.
And Bond, Amazoning Bond.
Yeah, and Amazoning Bond. I want, and I've said this before, I want the new Bonds to be set in the 50s and 60s.
Original Bond.
Yeah. So we remake Casino Royale and all them, but it's set in 1955. Moonraker's set in 1957. Do you know what I mean? Like they're set in the year.
But do you want them to the book stories, or do you? Because like Spy Love Me is a love story in a hotel, and and
no, I mean you can embellish them a little bit, but I mean I loved Mad Men. Did you watch Mad Men?
Yeah.
The way that they made you feel like you were really in that time period, I thought was great. X-Men Days of Future Past did a good job of that, but I think the show or the film, the show that did the best job of putting you right in that time, in that place, was Chernobyl.
Oh that was great.
The production design on that
I was in that time, in that place, young person.
Yeah. Didn't it do such a good job? Like honestly, it looked like it was made in the 80s. They managed to color the film in such a way that
I'm still that color.
It's fantastic though, absolutely fantastic.
That was done well. I love Chernobyl. I mean, not the explosion, but I love the series.
Too close to a nuclear explosion. We've got a super chat coming, which is really nice. Anatar, thank you very much, One Angry Pagan, for sorting me out there with the super chat, and also the name of Sauron in Lord of the Rings, which was Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, and that was the fair face of Sauron. Thank you. I like that. I get corrected. Well, I didn't get corrected. I didn't get it wrong. I just said
it's hard to correct the Graham.
No, it's not.
I've
People
tried.
People do it all the time. Yeah.
Not on films.
Yeah. Chernobyl is so good. There are very small things you can nitpick, but overall very good. Yeah, I don't think that like radiation poisoning turns you into sludge. It just that's the toxic goop from RoboCop that turns you into sludge.
Yeah, I just thought it was good. Even the guy, the miners who knew they were irradiated and just started digging naked, and they just said, "Look, if we're going to die, we're going to be comfortable before we go." And they were like, all that stuff. It was, there were some bits that really made you quite very, very sad, and just the whole,
And some of the lines, like where he said, for every lie that's told, it incurs a debt to the truth, and one day that debt is paid. It's just chilling. It's true as well. And I think of that when I think of old Trumpty Dumpty over the fucking water. Top shite. Have you seen any of the movies that got done for Oscars, that got put forward for Oscars? Have you seen any of them?
No, I said I was going to watch Conclave, which is the one.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
But she didn't think he did that well. I've got a whole backlog of films to watch. I've been watching when I'm off the wall with my rifle, cleaning my rifle. This is my rifle. There are others like it, but this one is mine. All that stuff. I was doing all that, and I was doing. I go to my sci-fi place. So as I say, Emma and I, it's good that my wife is not a sci-fi buff. So we went all through the Battlestar Galactica's new version. We're doing all the Expanses.
Yeah,
and we're on season 6 of the Expanse.
Nice.
Which is good for me second time through, because there are subplots I'd missed, and my wife is enjoying it. So you were just locking into sci-fi and that universe. So the Expanse is excellent.
Well, I need to watch Conclave, and then I'm going to watch Convlex.
Yep.
And then what else do I need to watch? I think I've talked about The Brutalist on this channel. I'm not going to watch that because I hate brutalism. I don't want to support it in any way. But yeah,
there's a film about a trans person in Mexico.
Emilia Perez.
None of them mentioned the being trans or the trans, or made a call out on the Oscars, which I thought was quite sad.
Well, the actress who played the main character, she won the BAFTA, I think. But then Twitter messages that she had sent a few years earlier came to light, and they were like bigoters, racist, not great. And so the Oscars campaign got a little bit derailed by that. But Zoe Saldana still won for the best supporting actress for that movie. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not saying
it'll be interesting.
The universe,
it'll be interesting to get your take on it, because a lot of Mexican people, a lot of trans people are like, I fucking hate this movie. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks. I hate it.
I have to say, because I get sent a lot of what I do for a living, I get sent a lot of books and histories, and I used to watch a lot of trans films when I transitioned 30 years ago. And I've seen all the early trans films, which wouldn't be greatly appropriate now. But it's a bit like a busman's holiday for me, like, where's this trans film? What's this trans film? Oh, here's another trans film about being trans. I live trans. I'm an activist for trans. I campaign for trans. I train in trans. I am trans. I don't want to read a book about being trans.
Yes. I feel the same way about travel, to be honest with you. I don't really read other people's travel books.
Yeah, it's hard. Sorry, do you ever come across a guy, oh my God, it will come to me. There's a guy who did around Italy on a moped.
A writer?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a travel writer. I traveled around Italy on a Vespa, which was quite funny. And then
Hemingway.
Pardon?
Hemingway.
No, it's a comedy writer. He has writes about the girl next door. He went to, and he writes. He's written a load of books. It'll come to me.
Yeah.
He's written a load of comedy travel books, and he got to Italy, and he rented this Vespa. And this guy was, sold him this ancient, and every time it broke down, wherever he was in Italy, he rang the guy for advice, and the guy would drive out to him wherever he was in Italy and fixed it on the side of the road for him, wherever he was.
Oh, fantastic.
And the guy would be hours away, and he'd come and fix it. And he went all over, and then he went all over South America with the girl next door, the girl he fell in love with, and who he dumped because he sat on top of one of the Inca pyramids and sunset, and she sat down the bottom and did Facebook, and that was like the end of the relationship, because she didn't want to be out there looking at the sunset.
I get that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, there's a load of those. He's written a load, and then there's another one called "No Shitting in the Toilet," which is another one about the sign that he had in some sort of country that was. There's load. He's written a load of. I went for all those books when I was young. I thought they were excellent. But
I'll have to check that out. I mean, the 90s were particularly problematic for trans people on
Oh,
film.
he went in on a UN tank into Dubrovnik.
Wow.
Yeah, he went in with the UN when he was traveling with his backpack. That was funny.
I did Croatia last week on the Hughes of the World. We did Croatia and I had my footage of Dubrovnik.
I've been to Dubrovnik. The suicidal donkeys in
Game
Dubrovnik. Have you been on the suicidal donkeys in Dubrovnik?
No. I've been on donkey.
Yeah, no, but they have these donkeys.
Been on camel. Been on elephants. Feel a bit bad about that now.
Well, now amusing. When you get in the port in Dubrovnik, they have these donkeys that zigzag up the hill, right? And they're blind, I think, or they've got pack. And you get on, and you think the guy's going to lead you up on the zigzaggy road to the top.
Yeah.
So you get on, and no. You get on, and he hits the donkey on the arse, and the donkey just goes up the hill and zigzags up on its own with you on it. Only these donkeys are old. I don't think they're very happy, and they just walk into the wall with you on them, and you sort of fall off or graze your leg really badly. Nice. By the time you get to the top, you're pretty bashed up.
Yeah, I'll avoid that one.
Yeah,
like the plague.
Well, I just wonder if the donkey's like, I've had enough of this. I'm going over the edge. Well, it's like with you on the back.
Since we're about halfway through and we're talking about travel, should we play a quick game of
Go for it.
Of where the Fakarwi? So what I need to do for you is I need to change your feed so you can see my monitor. Okay, so
I can see it.
You see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and for everyone else, hopefully this will work. Who knows? Yay, it worked. It totally worked. Oh, you're still on the screen. This is brilliant. There's two of us on the screen now.
Hey.
So we're going to play 3 rounds of GeoGuessr. We've got 2 minutes to guess where we are in the world. Okay, we're going for it. You ready for this, everyone? You can help at home, but you've only got 2 minutes to do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's play GeoGuessr. 2 minutes. Oh, I love the music. I don't normally get the music on here. I'm in a car park. I'm in a car park still. Okay, they're driving on the right.
Looks like Eastern Europe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Feels like Eastern Europe.
Oh, what have we got here?
Ooh.
Oh, okay, definitely Eastern Europe. We've got Cyrillic letters, so maybe Bulgaria. Maybe Bulgaria. Maybe Ukraine. There's nothing obvious here. Oh god, it's gonna be difficult. Yeah. Could be Serbia. Okay, let's keep moving.
There's a tram.
There is a tram. Oh god, where are we? Are we in Bucharest? We could. Oh no, actually no. Romania uses English characters. Are we in Sofia? Sophia? Oh no! I need a sign. Someone give me a sign. Optician, LED. Oh, should have gone to Specsavers.
Oh yeah, it's not good.
I mean, it's a nice. It's very blue skies.
Yeah. You sure it's not some sort of Greek place, not Eastern Europe?
No, because it's not Greek. It's
oh yeah, that's
Cyrillic.
I just saw the letters.
I mean, it could be North Macedonia, but
there's the cabs. Got anything on
cabs there? Fashion, style. Coffee. Oh, here we go. There's a card there. Fair play card. I need a web address. Give me a web address. Oh no, we're gonna run out of time. Oh shit. Gonna look at Phone King. It's phoneking.com. Bulgaria. It is. It's Bulgaria. It's Sofia. Quick, Graham. Quick. Oh. Woo! 2.5 miles away. Yes.
Excellent. I'm impressed.
Okay, should we go to the next one?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, I'm a bit excited about that. That came down to like the last second. Okay, let's go. Next round.
Okay.
2 minutes. Here we go. Timbres and MT Retouche. I think we're in some kind of French place. What do you reckon? The exit of vehicles, sortie is French. Definitely feeling a bit francophony here. Feeling like a Francophone. Now, let's head out this way. It'd be really obvious if we're in Paris, wouldn't it? Like, that would be
you might see a bit of a landmark in Paris.
Obvious. Oh, look at this water tower here.
Yeah.
Why would Paris need a water tower like that? It wouldn't. It's too far north. Maybe this is south of France. Maybe this is south of France. La Maison.
Montpellier.
That's one hell of a railway up there, isn't it? Is that a railway? Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Nice, Monaco. Oh, that says Nice Centre, maybe. We're in Nice.
Monaco, Nice.
Yeah, Chimez, Nice. We're in Nice.
So this could be Cannes. They'd have a big.
No, I think it's Nice.
It's Nice.
Yeah, it's Nice. It's Nice. Okay, let's do it.
Already.
Let's do it. That's nice. Nice. There it is. Right, so I need somewhere near the railway line. So we're obviously around here somewhere. So let's pick.
Yeah, because that's a motorway over the railway track.
Whoa! 282 yards.
Pretty good.
Oh my god.
Very impressed. I'm very lucky to be on here with somebody that's been to every country without flying.
The clue there was the big water container, because they wouldn't have that in Paris. They'll need that somewhere where it's really hot. So I'm thinking south of France, south coast. Boom! Oliver Brown says, lol, just guess. Chrissy said Nice. Ollie said Nice. Diz says Paris. Did anyone get the Bulgaria one? Oh, hang on. And One Angry Pagan wants to know if you back Mercy for badgers. Yes, of course. We like badgers.
We do.
We don't want them to die. But yeah, thanks for the super chat, One Angry Pagan. Okay, right. Last one. This is where I really fuck it up and I just make a big tit of myself. Let's go. Start next round. I'm getting a bit nervous. Ooh, okay, we're in Africa. But where in Africa, I hear you say. Could we be in Kenya again? I think we've already been here. This was the easterly area of Kenya, from what I remember last time.
Ooh, I think I saw you do this one.
It looks very similar to Eastleigh in Nairobi. And I know that those roads have been mapped out. But we did this the other week. Why would they do the same place again? That's a bit rubbish.
Well, maybe they're trying to trick you.
There's plenty more cities than that. Probably are trying to trick me. Need a sign. Won't somebody send me a sign? Rachel, send me a sign. I think this is just the same place.
A lot of unfinished buildings.
Yeah, because you have to pay tax when they're finished, you see. So they leave them slightly unfinished and then you have to pay tax on them.
Yeah,
True story. That happens in a lot of developing nations. Oh, free money. There's a sign there that says free money.
Excellent.
Definitely an English-speaking country, so Kenya. We've got some French here. Got some French graffiti. Free money. Oh, well, that's put the cat amongst the pigeons, hasn't it? Maybe it's Senegal. Transport. Maybe it's Dakar in Senegal. Here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I could be on the wrong side of the continent here.
Oh, no.
Institution of SN. Senegal. It's Senegal. Oh, my God, it's Dakar. Oh, God. So where are we in Dakar? Ooh, we're over... I don't know. Let's have a quick more look because we can see the big statue of the two people.
23 seconds.
That's right on the... This is like the Crystal Maze now, isn't it? Get out, get out! They've got a massive statue. Actually, I think it's where you start, so it wouldn't make any difference if I saw the massive statue, but I'm guessing we're in Dakar. Let's just go for middle of Grand Yoff there, guess. Whoa! 11 miles. I was on the other side of the city. Come on, that's not bad.
That's pretty damn good.
11 miles.
You are well travelled.
Anyway, so hey. That was fun.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that too.
I'm rubbish at geography, but you know, hey ho. I mean, when I used to go on cruises when I was younger, I always used to say to my partner, "Is this a country or an island?" Well, she would look at me and go, "Well, islands can be countries or part of countries." All right, okay then. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to get off the boat then. Have a look.
Yeah.
Geography, not great.
Well, there you go. I mean, it does help when you know, like you see the website address and you're like, okay, SN, that's the code for Senegal. Yeah. And then if you know where Senegal is and what the capital is, it really does help.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe seen as cheating, I guess, knowing stuff. I always felt like I cheated in my A levels because I actually bothered doing revision.
I don't. I'm more Denimella in Indiana Jones. Hello, does anybody speak English?
Hello, hello. He'll blend in. You'll never find him.
You'll never find him.
You'll never find him. He knows 17 languages.
Hello, anybody knowing speak English?
I thought you said he got lost in his own museum. Hello, chaps. Anyone speak English?
You might as well have posted it to the Nazis. You did.
that was fantastic. Though I mean, he was in Alexandretta. That's where they went to, and that place changed its name to Iskenderun, and it's still in Turkey to this day. It's quite near the border with Syria. And on my journey around the world, the Syrian conflict had broken out. Not when I was in Syria for the journey, but when I was trying to get home from North Africa. I was going to go overland through the Middle East, but I couldn't because Syria had fallen into civil war. So they started a ferry that was going across from Port Said in Egypt over to Iskenderun. And I saw it coming up, as like the options of how to get to Europe. And it said I could go there and then go through Turkey. And I was like, hang on, I know that name. And I looked it up and went, it's Alexandretta. Oh my God, that's so Indiana Jones. So I turned up in Iskenderun and just was going, hello, they all speak English. Hello, chap, hello. And then I ran into someone's shop to hide, and it turned out to be a truck and drove away.
Oh no.
After
the dog?
Yeah. You were named after the
I can't
dog.
see you, Graham. You can take the website.
Sorry, I'm still on the other. I'm so sorry. That's
right.
very remiss of me. We can see you, but you can't see me. You're forgetting what I look like. There you go. Hello, I'm the guy with the hat.
You chose wisely.
He chose. I think that when I see some actors and people who have made some bad decisions in their life.
Yeah. You chose wisely. I know. You get to a certain age and you start quoting some of the older films and people are looking at you a bit odd and you think, oh, this is really good. This is a funny quote and you don't get
it. Dark 4x4, you may be within 100 miles of the Cumming estate, although I say it's the beautiful south, perhaps Rotterdam, Liverpool or Rome. On a better note, lovely to see you both again. Lovely to see you again, Rachel. That's some Dark 4x4.
Thank you.
100. I'm about where I am in Durham isn't far from the Cummings estate. I can walk to the Cummings estate from here.
Okay.
And take a piss.
That's north of Watford, is it? Hello.
Gates. Yeah, it's anywhere north of Watford. Oh, we've got something come in. Here you go. Do you know that 6,000 Ukrainian soldiers were deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan to help the USA after the USA invoked Article 50 despite not being NATO members?
I picked that today, actually. It was, I think it was on Restless Politics. They, because Vance had said, Britain haven't been in any wars. And we helped in Vietnam, actually. We helped in Korea. We had our own Falklands conflict. We had two Gulf Wars. We were in all the Eastern Europe. We were all in the Eastern European troubles. And he's like, but yeah, Ukraine was in the Gulf, definitely. And in fact, I think Rory listed out a load of them, the soldiers. I mean, so JD Vance like, Britain's never been in any wars. And like, oh yeah, that's interesting, mate.
Apart from all those wars that we fought.
What wars did you do when you were writing newspapers in the Marines? Yeah.
But now press releases. But you know how difficult it is to put out press releases, Rachel, don't you? I mean, those people, they work very hard. They deserve a party every night.
They do. Yeah.
Quick, it's Wine Time Fridays.
Yep, search and destroy will now be search and rescue.
So yeah, we should get away from the politics. I think
we do a lot of politics.
So what are we going to call this? Wednesday night musings. What is it?
Musings, yeah, things that annoy
musings. You know, Wayne will come along and think we're talking about Muse.
Well, he'll come on and swear and demonetize
or shit.
And then he'll vote Tory. Or will he vote Reform now? I mean, it's all going reformy over around his way, isn't it? So
you know our friend Mike Dix. He finally got around to doing his picture of Wayne that Wayne's been wanging on about for the last 2 months.
Oh, fantastic!
Like, Mike's been getting serious chemo and radiation therapy for his cancer, right? Like some of the procedures that he's had to go through are really, really rough. And then we get Wayne on and he's like, have you done my fucking picture yet? And I'm like, Wayne, wait.
Oh, no.
Anyway, but he's done it.
Yeah.
Good. But he didn't make him look like a homeless wizard, which he did to me. So I'm thinking when he did my picture. So he said, I'm going to make him have a T-shirt on that says, I voted for Boris.
Yeah, Maya hasn't done any of me, but he did put me in every historical photograph, famous photograph that's ever been.
Yes, that was
So
very
I've
cool.
still got those. So he thinks I'm really, really old. And
No, you're not. You've got a time machine. That's the
I have,
difference.
yeah. Well, that's
So, like, just to go back to sort of pop culture and shit,
yeah.
have you seen Severance? Have you seen? You haven't seen
No,
that yet,
no,
have you?
yeah. It's on our list again. I mean,
Honestly,
oh,
it's
it's
one of
not
the
on
most
Disney.
interesting thing that's been on TV for a while. Did you like Twin Peaks? Did you watch Twin Peaks?
Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
Well, they had Twin Peaks: The Return in 2017,
Oh, was that
and
terribly popular with the young people? The return, was it? I just remember
I don't know
preaching.
about the young people, but I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really good.
The Carl McLaughlin was in the
Well,
original,
it
right?
was like the original ended with Annie, who was played by Heather Graham, being trapped in the Black Lodge and
Yeah.
Cooper escaping the Black Lodge.
Yeah.
But then it turned out that it wasn't actually him. It was like an evil version of him. And there was a moment where the backwards talking dwarf guy said, I think it was him. He said, "We will meet again in 25 years,"
Oh,
and they
okay.
made the return like exactly
Oh,
25
I mean, I
years
can't remember the original. I watched the
later.
original at the time, but
Brilliant.
yeah,
It was really, really good.
yeah.
And now that David Lynch has left the building, and a lot of the people who are in that final series, it was the last thing they were in. Um,
Mm.
it's a bit of a time capsule for another time. Because
Yeah.
Twin Peaks was, I mean, people who weren't around at the time won't really appreciate just how seismic
It was very
Twin
different
Peaks was.
television at the time.
Yeah, it was completely different. We just didn't
Mm.
have shows like that at all,
No,
where
no.
people watch it going, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
Now they're a little bit more common, but
Yeah.
that and sort of those HBO dramas like The Sopranos, they really changed television and paved the way to the golden age, which I kind of think is over at the moment.
Yeah, we don't have that sort of. I mean, Sex and the City and all that stuff that I used to love, HBO stuff, all that stuff when it first came out was different.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, and then it all became a bit pants, especially the films. But
Babylon 5, I think, deserves a place in the pantheon just
it's
because.
good. The CGI, I'm going to be a bit hard on it now. It looks
Oh,
it's
come on! It was made on
dated.
an
Oh,
Amiga toaster, for God's sake.
yeah, true. I mean, it was done on a ZX81. But no, I really liked. I thought Babylon 5 was clever and
But
it made you think.
it was almost all written by one bloke. Like he wrote like 100 episodes of the bloody thing.
Yeah,
That's just,
but they
that's
changed the commander, didn't
crazy.
they? I'm having because I haven't seen Babylon 5 in
Yes,
years. Yeah,
they did, but then it made sense within the story why it
yeah,
happened. But obviously, it was because the actor didn't want to do it
yeah.
in the second season, so they
So
brought in a new captain.
have you seen a 2-season series of the 90s, which I have in an American format, which is not, it's hard to get, called A Space Above and Beyond?
Oh, I've heard of that. Wasn't that
Ooh.
Jerry Anderson? Was that a Jerry Anderson thing?
Oh, well, I don't know if it was Jerry Anderson as
Oh,
in Space
I must,
1999,
I
Jerry
must be getting
Anderson.
it mixed up. There was a 90s show
Yeah,
that
so
was
it's
live
about
action,
Marines.
and it was
Yeah, so
Jerry Anderson.
it starts with the Earth is opening colonies on lots of planets, and then these sort of lizardy people come along and go, "Oi, this is our planet," and wipe out all the colony, and then Earth is at war. It's a little bit
Mm.
like the when we the fascist film about fighting insects, but it's a little bit like that, but not quite. And it's about a Marine Corps, and the
You mean
Marines.
Starship Troopers?
Yeah, it's a bit like that. But these guys, they fly in space, they fight on planets, so they
Yeah.
use them. So they fly on. It's their kind of thing. We fight on 3 continents. We fly on 3 levels of flying. So they fly spaceships. They're in space battles. They're on the ground on shitty planets in trenches. And it's dark, right? Because they have
Yeah.
to fight also androids in an
Paul
android
Ewan
war.
in the chat is agreeing with you. Above and Beyond was fantastic.
It was, yeah. Thank you. And so the Marines are fighting. So that there's these kind of androidy humanoids that have joined the lizard people against Earth because Earth beat the androids in a sort of pre-war. And
Oh,
these
cool.
the battles go on. They've got the Earth's got big battleships but this alien race kick the living shit out of them in every episode. People die. It's about this small squadron that stick together. Even the last episode when the series got cancelled was fucking awful. It was so sad. I mean, no, it's never happy. It was just It was Earth getting its ass kicked in an alien battle.
So
And
a bit like Blake 7 then, yeah.
yeah, a little bit. You betrayed me. Like standard by 7.
I mean, we had, was it Avon? No, there was Avon. Who was the other guy from Blake 7? Who was the one who turned evil?
Paul Darrow played Avon.
Darrow.
It was Dodge Blake, or Blake Dodge, whatever his name was. Who played he was
who did Paul Darrow play? Did he play Avon?
He played Avon, and
yeah, I met him. He came to speak at Fab Cafe when I worked there.
Excellent. He's a great guy. Well, he was a great guy, but he was he was the best character in a way. He was told off
because we had TVs around, like, you know, when we had a video player and we could play anything on the VHS video player, and we had a few tapes of Blake 7, so I put them on. And one of the fans came over to me, a young woman, and she said, "Can you turn this off, please? This is the last episode. It's very sad, and it makes us all very, very sad." Because it was like that. Spoilers.
I joined BritBox just to watch Blake 7, and then I cancelled my subscription after I watched it.
Yeah,
but I'd seen it, you know, and as a kid, all the wobbly sets. I mean, it was because Blake sort of disappears at the end of the first season, and then he comes back in the very last couple of episodes. And so you go through the, you know, the Liberator blowing up, and them on Scorpio and all the other stuff, and it was still quite good with Tarrant. Was it Tarrant? I can't remember the young guy that sort of joins. He's an ex disillusioned squaddy and Servalan. That's the sort of thing though that could, you know, when we remake shit, like nowadays, you could have that with really good special effects and tell the same story. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bit like Andor, you know, the Star Wars spin-off show, which I really appreciate because it doesn't have wizards and magic swords in it. It's just people fighting the Empire. That could run. That could run for years. You know, that's the story. You follow this group of rebels who are going from going from planet to planet. End. You know Andor's End, though. I find that quite sad knowing that. I know. So just make it someone else then. Why did it have to be someone? Why does it always have to be connected to the movies? Why does Luke Skywalker have to turn up at the end and go, "Hello"? You know, someone turns out to be a Jedi. My name's Andor. Would you like to go on a date? No. Yeah. Why? Well, you know, Why is everyone a Jedi? It's boring, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you know, the Jedis have been around for thousands of years. They've kept pace in the universe, except in the next year, and it's all going to go to pop. But apart from that. Yeah. But I mean, that kind of ran out of steam quite quickly. I mean, I always think about how Star Wars, like they couldn't even make 3 movies with original ideas. The first one was original. The second one was original. The third one, they went, "Let's have a Death Star." And then the sequel to that, which came out like 30 years, 40 years later, they went, "Let's have an even bigger Death Star." Yeah. Yeah. We like the Death Stars. What? More Death Stars? We like a Death Star. Have you seen all the Family Guy Star Wars stuff? Yeah. Blue Harvest is so funny. It is. But yeah. But a lot of it's like pointing out stuff that's really... Yeah. There should be a railing here. This is really unsafe. Yeah, I like all the lift music. Always makes me laugh. Anne Phillips says everyone's a Jedi because they like the swishy, the shiny swishy stick. Yeah, but if you're on a spaceship, having a lightsaber does no goods whatsoever. Yeah. If someone shoots you and you are on a spaceship, you fucking die. You know, that's it. That's the end of it. Yeah, it's not good on a Zeppelin. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, sometimes when I walk down, I live in the middle of nowhere, and I walk down country lanes. I've got one of those hyper 9 million candles torches, and when you walk in that sort of misty night, you've got that beam. And but Duke Vengeance makes the point that the Death Stars are useless anyway now because of light speed ramming. Yeah, that was something that I always thought about. Like, why can't they just got these massive capital ships, right? The Star Destroyers, and they can go at warp speed. Okay, they can go at light speed, right? So why don't they just fly them into a planet and just fill it full of droids and fly it into a planet? No, but they, once you've developed the technology, it's like Betamax and VHS, it gets smaller. They start to shrink it, right? Yeah. So by the last film, they should have been able to stick one of those lasers on all their ships. Yeah. And they could have all been planet destroyers. They didn't need another big... that's their tech. Their tech, their R&D department's rubbish. They still need a big Death Star to develop the big laser instead of shrinking it and making it smaller. You know.
But I
I
mean,
don't know.
we can sit here and complain about stupid decisions that have been taken, but I guess at the time they seemed
They're
fairly
great.
reasonable, and then only in hindsight being 2020, we can
Well, I
say, "Oh, that
thought.
was a bit of a shit idea."
Well, seeing Star Wars in 1977 when I was a kid,
Yeah,
was, I mean, it was amazing, because all we'd had was Star Trek, the 60s series.
yeah,
And then there had been no real, there was the original Battlestar Galactica, a bit of that. And there was a film that we all went to see in the old sort of flea pit cinemas. But Star Wars was like, how it was just so, it was just, there were the toys and the
yeah,
dolls and the models and the whole country went mad for it.
yeah,
And we never really captured that again, but it was it was so different. That
yeah.
excitement when I was 10 years old.
But yeah, Oliver Brown said Grogu, Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian didn't even want to become a Jedi. They're so lame. I hated the fact they made another season. I hated the fact that it was a follow-on from that shit Boba Fett spin-off, which was shit. That's the new adventures of Fat Boba Fett.
Tell us what you really think.
Fat middle-aged Boba Fett who takes his helmet off all the time. I'm like,
yeah. Well, he wasn't a Mandalorian Boba Fett. He just nicked the outfit, didn't he?
I know. That's why I bring him back.
He could take his helmet.
It was just shit. It was honestly that Boba Fett Book of Boba Fett series was terrible on every fucking level.
Oh, wow.
Just
okay,
awful.
I'm getting the vibe that you didn't like it. I'm feeling it in the force.
And then they made another season of The Mandalorian that you couldn't really understand it unless you had seen this other series, and it was just daft. I'm not having that. They go, oh, there's this planet where the Mandalorian people come from, and we all wear helmets. Okay. We never take the helmets off, even when we're having sex.
Except him, her, them, that person over
except all the people who take the helmets off. and they're like, oh, we thought that this planet was uninhabitable. If only there was some way of sending some kind of, I don't know, probe to the planet, like they sent to Hoth. To probe it, to see if there's any, things that you can't live there because...
You're overthinking it, I think. I think that's the trouble.
Do you know what AI is going to do, right? This is what I think. You're going to put an entire script into AI, right? And then you're going to say, tell me the plot holes. And it'll go, this is a plot hole, this is a plot hole, this is a plot hole. And then you'll type in, plug the plot holes. Yeah. And it'll go, well, if you simply say, this is the only time turner in existence, and it gets destroyed at the end of the episode of Harry Potter, then you never have to worry about the whole thing of like, hey, Sirius just died. Why don't we grab the time turner and bring him back to life?
Yeah. That's right. Indiana Jones. He doesn't need to fight the Nazis. He can stay at home. They'll die anyway.
Yes. I mean, if they had that extra line in, right, to say, if it wasn't for Indiana Jones, we would be doing this in Berlin.
Yeah,
and you're like,
Hitler died.
Yeah, you'd open it in front of the Führer. Cool. Do it.
Yeah.
Go with God. Not how World War II finished, unfortunately. But there's a scene cut from Indiana Jones where the old man who tells him that the height of the staff that he's got, the staff of Ra, that he's got to put into the little model of the town, that Doc Brown's made. He's made a little model of the town so he knows where the DeLorean goes.
The DeLorean. Yeah.
That guy actually says to him when they open the Ark, close your eyes. That's how he knows to close his eyes, because that's a bit of a loophole. It's like, how does he know? Close your eyes, honey.
Don't look.
But did you see the new Indiana Jones movie?
Yes.
Fucking awful.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, yeah, I enjoyed it because it was better than the one with the crystal skulls. So
that's not hard.
Yeah, because I remember saying when I went to see that, I saw it in Tottenham Court Road in London, and I remember saying, look, we were happy with the Ark of the Covenant, we were happy with the magic Indian stones, we were magic with the knight being there for 3 or 4,000, 1,400 years and being alive, and we were happy with all that. But aliens
and speaking English, don't forget.
Yeah. And then but
aliens, I'm an old Shakespearean actor before Shakespeare was born.
But aliens, everybody was upset about the aliens in number 4.
Yes, it was just daft. Oh, come on, it was just...
And I thought that scene where they fight, when they drive along, they always have that sort of drive battle scene. They did it in the tanks, and they did it, driving along the top of the cliff, and they're fighting and jumping on all the cars. And I found that really boring.
Going through the jungle where there's no road, and they destroy the road building machine that was going before them, and then.
I didn't mind the last one, but because it was just new and it was. But what I think about Indiana Jones is what I thought of Blade Runner 2049, which was like Decker. I didn't like it the first time I saw it. My wife loves all that.
Yeah,
loves Blade Runner, and she's got every version.
I love Blade Runner as well. Yeah, cards on the table.
2049, first time I watched it, hated it.
Right.
First time, and I was telling people, well, he just sits around a lot, Decker. He doesn't do anything. And then he sits in that thing. It's on the side of the reservoir, and there's a fight, and he just sits there. He doesn't get into the fight. And then the second time I watched it, he's handcuffed to the chair. And that was like, and then I sort of, second time through, and then I got it, and I now like 2049. But first time I was like, this is pants.
Oh, I really liked it. It's got Anna de Armas in, and I love her. I've got a bit of a thing.
I love the bit with the Elvis in the Elvis. You just want a bit. You want more.
Yeah,
it leaves you wanting more.
That whole scene. I mean, Denis Villeneuve, who directed it, just that he has the eye. Like, he obviously did the Dune, the new updated Dunes, and Dune Messiah, hopefully coming out soon.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
And I'm very much looking forward to that. But Rachel, it is 4 minutes past 7.
Wow,
we've slightly gone over time, rabbiting on about old
we've only just got. We're just warming up to it.
Just warming up. I could do this. I could do this all day. But yeah, big thanks to everyone in the chat there.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see everyone again.
Yeah, we got Dark 5x4. Is it safe for me to offer you a wee bottle of brew weed imported Guinness? Yes. Star Wars or Star Trek? It's a no-brainer. It has to be Star Trek. Well, I like Star Wars and I like Star Trek. That's just me.
Yeah, I like them both.
I like Pepsi and Coke. I like cats and dogs.
No, I don't like Coke anymore because we know Voldemort drinks Coke.
I like going out and I like staying in.
Yeah,
I like sleeping in my own bed. I like sleeping in other people's beds.
I heard the paper boy.
I just like getting out there.
I wake up.
I like Ozzy Osbourne, but I also like Taylor Swift. Can't stop me.
I wake up late every morning, except on Wednesday when I get rudely awakened by the bin man.
Back in 1996, I went to see Typo Negative in. I went to see Typo Negative in Manchester with my Pulp t-shirt on. That was my musical taste at the time. It's not really changed. A good tune's a good tune. I don't care what genre it is. I like defying genres. And I think we need more sci-fi musicals.
We do. Yeah.
There's not enough.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
Springtime for Shatner.
Well, I've got my 5 films. I'm going to try and write 5 films before September. I'm going to be sending you little bits of the scripts as I go along.
Excellent.
I'll be doing your absolute head in.
We could try a little segment where we read character.
We can read characters and make sure the dialogue flows.
See what the socialites think of the dialogue.
Yeah.
Because I'm rather trained, so I could no, I'm not.
Well, Mike Dix, he's produced TV and stuff. He's actually produced stuff, so and he knows people.
Jeez.
So if I do want to make
talents,
a couple of very low budget horror movies for our B24 production company studio.
Yep. That sounds good. I like that. We'll do that.
We'll have a word at Mike. They'll sort us out. Anyway, I've got to head off to Ben Chambers's.
I'm off to fish and chips.
We're gonna talk 16 Million Rising.
Fantastic.
Check it out. And also we're probably gonna watch some weird and wonderful movies. That's what we'll do at Ben's. Nice. All right. So you take care. Have a great evening. Thank you so much, Rachel. I'll see you again hopefully next week. We'll be doing
Wednesday night musings.
Wednesday night. I don't know if I can say that. I might need to
we'll call it a bit. We'll just Rachel and Graham talk bollocks.
I prefer that. Can I call it that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Because you know what? It doesn't pick up the word bollocks on the internet swear.
Do it with an X or something.
No, it just doesn't pick it up. It just doesn't pick it up. So Rachel and Graham talk bollocks.
There you go.
Like talk radio, but it's talk bollocks. Love it. Let's do it. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks for the super chats. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at bright and early at 9 a.m. for Morning Brew. And until then, I'll just say thank you so much for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Bye.